Coming up, I provide an aerial look at the future route of Brightline West. Brightline West is Brightline's second passenger rail venture, which will connect Las Vegas with the Los Angeles Basin by true high-speed rail in just over 2 hours. Specifically, Brightline West will follow Interstate 15 from Las Vegas to their LA station in Rancho Cucamonga. In March 2022, I made a trip to Southern California to document the route and have been awaiting additional information since then, and those details have been made available over the past few months. We'll start at the station site in Rancho Cucamonga and work east to Las Vegas, sharing additional details along the way. Brightline West has an agreement to co-locate their station here at the site of the existing Rancho Cucamonga Metrolink station. This will allow easy transfers to Metrolink's commuter rail line for connections to downtown Los Angeles and elsewhere in the basin. Metrolink's San Bernardino line offers close to hourly service for most of the day currently, and that will likely increase to meet the increased demand caused by Brightline. Brightline's platforms will be elevated with 2 tracks over the existing Metrolink tracks. A large station building, as well as a parking structure to be shared by passengers using both services, will also be constructed. A few retail and dining options will also be made available. Here are a few of the artist renderings that have been released to the station. In addition to Metrolink, Brightline plans to connect with other local transit providers as well as shuttles to nearby attractions and hotels. Leaving the station, the route will travel about a mile east to join the right-of-way of Interstate 15, which will follow the rest of the way to Las Vegas. 96% of the route will be built in the median of the interstate. Here in the LA Basin, this will take up area previously set aside for widening the interstate. Heading out of town, and our first stop will be at the base of Cajon Pass. Cajon Pass has been a challenge for rail for over a century, as rail lines have had to zigzag to get out of the basin between the San Bernardino Mountains and the San Gabriel Mountains. Being a lightweight, electrified high-speed train, Brightline West will be able to match the 5 to 6% grade of the interstate, as freight trains will not operate on the route. You can see a few of BNSF's tracks here. Speaking of the trains, here are the 2 renderings that have been released to date of the Siemens Velaro Novo and Alstom Avelia Liberty, as Brightline has not decided on or signed a contract for trains yet. Next up is the site of the future Hesperia station. As part of the agreements to have Brightline West run into Rancho Cucamonga, Brightline agreed to add a station here at the Joshua Street exit in Hesperia. This station will be primarily focused on serving commuters headed to LA to provide an alternative to the often crippling traffic through Cajon Pass. The platform will be located in the median of the interstate. Next is just east of Victorville, at the future crossing over the Mojave River. While far from a raging river, the tracks will cross the riverbed here. Just to the west of the river, they will also cross over the BNSF Cajon subdivision. Continuing east to Quarry Road, aptly named for a nearby quarry. Here, the dominant scenery of the line of the Mojave Desert is starting to appear. The long, straight sections of the interstate, like in this area, will also allow trains to reach 186 miles per hour, if not higher. Next is the location of the Victor Valley Station. Prior to Brightline's involvement and purchase of the route and plans, when the project was known as Desert Express and Express West, this was going to be the end of the line from Vegas, and the property had been purchased already. Brightline has since added the route into the LA Basin to their plans, but will continue to take advantage of this property for a station and surrounding development. If the High Desert Corridor is built, which is another separately proposed high-speed rail corridor which could allow Brightline West to connect to the California high-speed rail system, this would also be where that corridor would connect into Brightline's route. Here's the single artist rendering release so far of the station. Moving east again, and this is the Wild Wash Road exit. Brightline West will be completely grade separated, so there will not be any grade crossings, resulting in an entirely sealed corridor. Now at Hodge Road, and you can see just how wide the median is at parts that Brightline is able to take advantage of. The majority of the route will be built with single track, with numerous extended sections of double track where trains will be able to pass at speed. Most of these exits I stopped at to film are more or less only used by people and emergency services needing to turn around with no businesses. Otherwise, they just connect to dirt roads heading into the mountains and desert. Next is just outside of Barstow at Outlet Center Drive. This spot provides a great view looking down one of the long straightaways. There are no plans currently for a station in Barstow, so the tracks will just wind their way through town following the interstate. We'll now head into Barstow itself. Here on the east end of town will be one of the most impressive structures on the project, as the line will have to rise up to cross over BNSF's Needles subdivision on the Southern Transcon. It will then have to come back down to the interstate's grade, which is fairly steep coming out of town as it goes down to cross over the Mojave River once again. Here's a look back into the city. Here's a quick look at a BNSF double-stack intermodal train passing through here, which also gives an idea of just how high Brightline's tracks will need to be in order for trains like this to fit underneath. Now heading out of Barstow, which was the last major settlement prior to Nevada, and at Mineola Road. Here, the median has widened even more, providing plenty of room for On the right here, Union Pacific's Las Vegas subdivision briefly parallels the interstate. It takes a much lengthier route to Las Vegas in order to minimize the grades there. Continuing on to Afton Road, Brightline will start hitting some of the more mountainous areas and grades of the route to the east from here. Next up is Basin Road. This is where the route cuts through some of the smaller mountains of the Mojave ranges. It should be noted that while this project under its various names has been talked about for decades, it is now the most shovel-ready high-speed rail project in the nation, with engineering work and final planning nearly complete. So why is this project even needed? Over 50 million trips are made between Las Vegas and Los Angeles every year, and over 85% of them are car trips here on Interstate 15. Weekend traffic is bumper to bumper, and knowing that, I planned my trip to be in the middle of the week to try to avoid it, but still got stuck in traffic. This is Isaacs Road. The interstate in this area borders Mojave National Preserve. Brightline West will be installing 3 all-new wildlife overcrossings, with 1 located in this general area. They will also maintain and improve another 600 plus culverts and other large crossings that exist today. These all provide a safe path for wildlife to cross the interstate and future tracks. East of here, the route takes a curve before beginning a grade south into Baker, California. Now in Baker, and this is the last settlement in California offering services to travelers. This remoteness brings up what might be the biggest challenge of the project, which is finding ways to house the workforce, as most workers will not want to drive hours each way every day to get to work. So Brightline will have to get creative to solve this. This interchange will need to be reconfigured to make way for Brightline's tracks. Here's a quick look at driving on the interstate at sunset just east of Baker. Next is Halloran Springs Road. Talking about having to realign that interchange in Baker, new overpasses and underpasses will need to be built at several of these exits and other road crossings to make way for the tracks. That will also benefit the general public beyond Brightline's passengers by providing infrastructure built up to modern standards. This will also include the addition of new overpasses for emergency vehicles and maintenance crews to get across the tracks, since they won't be able to just cut through the median like they can now. This exit also has a neat abandoned gas station. Leaving Halloran Springs, and on my way to my next stop, at the top of that next mountain range in the distance, The interstates and tracks have a lengthy downward grade, followed by a steep climb into the mountains. Now above Bailey Road at Mountain Pass, and this is the highest point on the route at approximately 4,370 feet above sea level. This means the train will have climbed 3,163 feet from Rancho Cucamonga. Several of the previous rail proposals had envisioned tunneling under this mountain, but Brightline has determined modern high-speed rolling stock can achieve this feat while also significantly reducing construction expenses and timeline. The Mountain Pass mine on the other side of the interstate is one of the only mines in the United States able to supply rare earth elements. Just around the next curve east from Mountain Pass is Nipton Road. From this point, the tracks will begin a fairly steep drop down into the valley below. Being electrified, Brightline's aim is to be powered by emission-free sources as much as possible, with a goal to be fully powered by them by or before 2045. Coming closer to the ground gives a better look at just how much the roads and track will drop east from here. Now at the bottom of the valley, and right on the Nevada state line, is Primm. This town exists almost solely to provide a first or last gambling spot for people traveling through here. The biggest change Brightline will bring about is demolishing a section of the now abandoned monorail that used to cross the interstate connecting the casinos. Continuing east to my last stop before Las Vegas, and this is where the line will cross over Union Pacific's Las Vegas line, following its extended route from Barstow. Brightline's route will cross over top of Union Pacific's tracks. While I was flying, this manifest freight was stopped on a siding, waiting to meet a westbound train. In the distance here, you can see the outskirts of Las Vegas. Shifting now to the road, and here at the interchange with St. Rose Parkway, Brightline will shift out of the median to the right or southeast side of the interstate for the rest of the way to the Las Vegas station site. Now at this point, welcome to fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. The land that Brightline has purchased for its station is located on the south end of the Strip, about 1.5 miles away from Harry Reid International Airport, directly adjacent to Interstate 15. Due to the proximity of the airport, I was not able to fly over this area, but this 110-acre property is large enough to host the station, plus hotels, retail, and potentially a major league sports stadium. Brightline plans to partner with casinos and hotels to provide check-in and baggage services directly at the station to bypass hotel check-in, along with shuttle services. Like Florida, Brightline plans to offer its Brightline Plus mobility options for other destinations. Here are a few of the artist renderings of the station. All of the stations will serve 2 tracks. While I have not decided whether or not I will actually document the construction of Brightline West, I hope this video has provided a good overview of the route and terrain that the train will have to tackle. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Also check out my social media pages.